Good day everyone! Welcome to today's special discussion on Vertical Redundancy Check or VRC. It's a critical concept in error detection, especially in data communication and transmission systems. Today, we have a panel of experts who will shed light on how VRC works, its significance, and its applications. Let's meet our guests. To start, could someone explain what a vertical redundancy check is and how it works? Mr. Milian, maybe you can take that one.
Absolutely, Mr. Adita. The vertical redundancy check, or VRC, is a method of error detection used primarily in digital communication. It's quite simple but effective. VRC checks the integrity of data by adding an extra bit, often called the parity bit, to each byte of transmitted data. The value of this bit is determined by the number of ones in the byte. If the byte contains an odd number of ones, the parity bit is set to 1 to make the total count even. If there's an even number of ones, the parity bit is set to 0. This way, the receiver can check if the data has been altered during transmission.
So it's really about ensuring that the data hasn't been corrupted by simply checking this one extra bit?
Exactly, Mr. Adita. It's a very basic but powerful way to catch errors. If the number of ones in the received byte doesn't match the expected parity, it's a clear sign that there was an error during transmission.
That makes sense. But Mr. Mendoza, would you say this method is always sufficient to detect errors in all cases?
That's a great question, Mr. Odita. While VRC are useful in detecting single-bit errors, it does have a limitation. For instance, if 2 bits are flipped in the transmission, VRC might not catch the error, since the parity would still match. This is why VRC are typically used in combination with other error checking methods, like longitudinal redundancy check or LRC, or more sophisticated error correction techniques.
So, it's good for basic error detection, but more complex systems might need additional methods for greater reliability?
Precisely, VRC can be part of a larger suite of error correction techniques.
Thank you for making that clear. Now, Mr. Benefe, in your experience working with network systems, how commonly is VRC used in real-world applications?
Great question, Mr. Odita. VRC is quite prevalent, especially in older or simpler communication systems. For example, dealing with serial communication, protocols such as RS-232, VRC is still widely used. It's very efficient for low-cost, low-complexity systems where the risk of data corruption is minimal and the error doesn't need to be overly sophisticated. However, in modern systems, especially those involving high-speed data transmission, we tend to rely on more advanced error detection techniques, but VRC still plays a significant role in legacy systems and simpler devices.
Thank you, Mr. Benefe. Mr. Dumaliyang, from a cybersecurity perspective, how important is VRC in ensuring data integrity?
VRC is definitely a good first line of defense in detecting basic errors. From a cybersecurity point of view, ensuring the integrity of data is crucial, especially when dealing with sensitive or confidential information. However, VRC alone won't protect against malicious tampering. Cyber attackers can manipulate data in such a way that the parity bit appears more correct, but the underlying data is compromised. For this reason, we need more secure methods like cryptographic hash functions or digital signatures to verify data authenticity and prevent tampering.
So while VRC helps detect accidental data errors, it wouldn't necessarily detect intentional attacks or malicious modifications?
Exactly! VRC is a tool for error detection, but it is not designed to secure data against deliberate tampering. We need additional layers of protection, such as encryption, for a more comprehensive approach.
Interesting insights, Mr. Dumaliyang. Finally, Mr. Busalia, in your experience designing communication systems, how do you decide whether to implement VRC or other error checking methods?
When designing communication systems, I always consider the complexity of the system, the criticality of the data, and the environment in which it's operating. For low-speed or low-complexity systems, VRC can be an easy and efficient solution. But for systems that handle a lot of data or require high reliability, we typically combine VRC with other error detection techniques or even error correction protocols. It's about balancing performance, reliability, and the cost of implementation. In mission-critical applications, VRC alone may not cut it. But for smaller scale or lower risk operations, it's often sufficient.
So it's really about the specific requirements of the system. There's no one-size-fits-all solution.
Exactly, Mr. Audita. It's all about the context in which you're working.
Well, thank you all for those insightful contributions. It's clear that while VRC is a valuable tool for basic error detection, its limitations require us to complement it with other methods in more complex scenarios. To our viewers, I hope you now have a better understanding of vertical redundancy check and how it fits into the broader field of data transmission and security. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you again to our panel of experts. Until next time, stay informed and stay connected.